Welcome back, everybody. I'm Go Via Go Home. Next up on our build kit series, where we build kits, review them, and talk about them a little bit, is the paper mill. This is the Walther's Cornerstone paper mill kit. Basically, it's a very large building, very large box. Can't even get the whole thing in the picture. There's a couple of extra pieces with it. We're gonna open this up, take a look, and see what you get. Put it together. Probably gonna paint it, and see how this one stacks up. Okay, so this HO scale Cornerstone paper mill kit, it's coming in at just over $100. Again, depending on where you get it from. I get all my stuff from Otter Valley, and if they don't have it in stock, they'll get it in for you. I had all my stuff specifically brought in because I wanted to make sure I got all the kits, and I do. So I'm gonna start with this one here of all the paper mill series. So you get some decals in here. We'll worry about those later. It's a warranty card. If you have any defective parts or whatever, you can contact Walther's directly. There is instructions, and one of the things that I like here is that it gives you a little brief history as well. Thanks you for buying it, and it talks about the paper mill. All the parts here are individually numbered, just like most Walther's parts are. And this one has a couple of pages. Nothing too extensive, right? You've got your main walls, the base, if you will, and then all the roof parts. There's some extra vents and whatnot, little set of stairs, and then we also have these tanks here that go on. I guess they can go anywhere really, like on the side of the building or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Always make sure you read through your instructions. Here's your tanks here. Last time I did it, there was enough to do 3 tanks with the stairs on top, and then there was a bunch of extra parts. So I built a single silo tank that I just had by itself, which is neat. This seems like base because it's flat. Here's a wall. Neat. I don't think we'll need these, but it's nice to have extra parts just in case. We will need these stairway here, or the railing, and the ladder over there, and there's some downward railings here for the steps. So we'll probably use some of these parts. There's a whole thing of plastic here. These are the windows. They're always individually wrapped so they don't get scratched, which is nice of them. More walls. More walls. And is that base? Yeah, it looks like base as well. Or is that wall? You know, it's so hard to tell. I'm sure I'll go over it after and take a look. There's a number of doors, number of garage doors, and a bunch of roof vents and other detailed parts, which is nice. And the two of the 3 roof sections. More tanks. More roof sections. More walls. See, now this is weird. This happened with the last kit as well. I mean, this is from a different building altogether. I'm pretty sure the only reason why this is in here is for that the top left there, that 3 section where you can put the pipes standing on that. Yeah, but I mean, this is great for like a background building. Like, you just, put it as a background and it's set, right? Hopefully there's some detail parts for it, like the windows, because I mean that'd be kind of neat to add to the layout. I did before, and I could always do it again. Which I actually have that building as well. It's part of the paper mill, but looks like more walls. Tons of windows. These are all the window pieces. And then you obviously put either glass in there, or there's little brick pieces as well that you put in there. Very nice, very nice. There's some flat sections there. Okay. Again, like this flat section here on that side, the big circumference there, that's for the other kit, that individual wall that I just showed you. I'm not sure why they added here. It's probably because all this stuff is needed here, but this here isn't. So it's an extra flat piece. And this here, this flat piece, this is needed for the actual paper mill. So I'm gonna really have to sort through this, to be honest with you, and see what all the individual pieces are. Yeah, and you basically get double, which is kind of weird. You know, there's 2 of these now. I don't know why I need 2. That's okay. I definitely need this one though. Oh, and there's stairs, little stairs. Neat. Well, that's it. I'm gonna start building the base of it, get that all together, and then we'll start building it up. Okay, so as you can see, I've already done basically the outside of it. Pieces like this here, that's not one piece. It's split down the middle, so you have to kind of glue it right in the middle. Same thing with connecting this piece to here. It's kind of janky, but you know, you kind of get it in place, and if you have a quick drying glue, it'll hold, and you don't really have to fight with it. That's all one piece there, and that door already comes open, and you get an extra piece on the inside there that you can continue to make a little bit of a brick wall. So when you look at it this way, it looks like obviously the wall continues, right? And then on this side, I actually did something a little different. It doesn't tell you to do this in the instruction book, but I did it. I took the size of the hole that's at that end there, so you can see it down there, and I cut it out of the back because this was solid here. So instead of having my train just come in and unload, I can have the cars go right through. So there's access from both sides. And I took the cutout piece that was literally like that I cut out of here, and I attached it right there. So there's a little piece on the inside as well, just like the other end. They don't give you an extra piece, but I glued that in there. So and when you paint it, obviously it looks like it's supposed to be that way, right? I don't think it looks too bad. So now obviously when you're painting this, because we don't really cover the paint all that, you know, much, I did the you know, the gray concrete kind of edge around the bottom there, and then I did the red brick. I'm gonna do a wash because this is all brick wall, so I have to do that white wash on there, kind of like I did with the station. As for the roof, you get 2 flat pieces just like the other pieces here, and you have to glue them together. You can kind of see the seam there, and that will go right in there like that, hopefully, and I can do this with one hand. I find that it's more stable of a building when the roof is in, so hopefully this helps. And you get 2 of these big square ones. There we go. And it sits right in there, and if I need to take it out to do the windows, that's fine. I can always glue it in later, because normally I use the grip tape method, and I put black sandpaper on the top to make it look like tar, basically, like a roof tar. And then I add all my detail kits, little roof vents and all that on top of that after. But yeah, that's the main frame of the building there. We've got more to do though, because obviously you can see the windows and whatnot need to be filled in. So let's take a look at that, and we'll start adding some more pieces to them. Okay, so next up here, we're going to do the windows. You can see that it's on one big long sprue here. That's all the windows. I've already painted it white. It looks fine. It's not too bright of a white. It's just, you know, I can weather that and make it look a little bit grungier, but that's for another, whatchamacallit, movie. So next, we've got all these little sections that I need to add to the windows, a couple of different sizes. And these are brick, right? So I had to paint them all ahead of time to go and match with the actual building. And then basically I have to glue them in like that. I mean, that's pretty strong the way it is, but I want to make sure they stay in place. So I'm using a bit of a stronger glue this time around. This works with painted models basically. So the other glue I use works with like non-painted, and it's able to melt the plastic together. This here will create a really good bond, and it'll hold painted to painted plastic. So we're gonna get through this. I'm gonna pop all these out, and then I'm gonna glue all these in place, and we'll be right back. Okay, so there you go. So all of the little brick sections are in the windows there, and these are ready to go on the bigger building. So I'm going to get those in place, and we'll come back and we'll take a look at that. I'm really considering dulling these down like a lot. So once I do the whitewash on the brick there, I'm going to have to do like a clear dull coat on that, just to really, you know, get rid of that shine, because that red paint is very shiny. So we'll have to dirty it up as well. So that's all part of the painting process, which we're not really covering, but I have to show you the step by step here. And if I need to paint it along the way, then I'll definitely do that to make things easier, because you always paint your models before you put them together. You just gotta, you know, there's no other way around that. Okay, so I've got all the window pieces in there. As you can see, it's just a white frame with the brick sheet in there. I still have to let them dry, because this glue does take a little bit, but the windows actually hold in place pretty well. So it's going to take a little bit to dry, but it should be okay. And I've got them all in all the way around. So, got a few, obviously, more detail parts that I need to add, some doors and the detail parts on the front here, and we'll continue on as we go. Okay, so we're going to take one final look here. You'll see I've got all the vents in. Those were really fun to do because they were all on the same sprue. So I did a base coat of black, and while it was still wet, I lightly sprayed silver. It's a very metallic silver, and it gives it almost that kind of look. It's a metal look, just for those vents there. I've done that before with a couple of things, and I mean, it works for what I do, and I just gotta obviously weather it a little bit to give it a bit more of a darker look. You can see I added the doors, and if we go around to the front, the receiving doors, and there's another door there, and there's also a door on the back. They give you like 10 doors, but you only need like 4 doors like that anyways. And then they give you also extra bigger doors, which don't even really fit this kind of situation here. So they were just on the sprue. You get a lot of extra parts with this, I find. You might not even use some of the parts that it comes with, which in turn, obviously, even more extra parts. But that's the main building. That's it there. This thing's huge. So it's kind of like 2.5, almost 3 3 feet long. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm glad that I'm done though. Putting it together anyways. I still have to get the sandpaper for the top, which I'm going to do that. I have to do the whitewash on this entire thing because it's all brick. And then when I come up with a name, I'm eventually going to put the name of the paper mill here or up here. I don't know yet. Not sure. But I'm going to show you some other stuff that comes with it. So you remember from all the parts, you get all these little plastic circular parts. Well, you stack one of them here, and then it comes with some piping. And basically you would put it beside it, just going up to the building like that, and you've got yourself a tank. Not sure exactly where I would place this. There's no real plan for that yet. It's just an extra part. And then they give you enough parts to do another 3, but they're much smaller. Now there is a walkway that goes along the top and then goes up some stairs and then up to here, and then there's a like a ladder that goes down, and then you get this piping as well. I didn't do it yet, but it's just an extra part. So there's a pipe that come off each one of these, and then they all connect together at the bottom. You can see the three pipes there, right? So it goes like that or something. I don't know, I gotta look at the instructions still. But yeah, the pipes connect to that, and then you connect that to the building as well. So also, I haven't painted them yet, but these go on the roof. Put them together, like little air conditioning units. You can separate them or do that, right? And then there's a whole bunch of other vents and stuff. They're still being painted right now, so no worries there. Again, I'm not going to use them yet. I just painted them because I had a bit of black paint left, but they're going to get put together, and then they'll all get put on the roof when I do that, but that's usually much later. I want to get everything in place, and then I'll add all the little detail parts after. As a side note, if you're getting a paper mill, I did get a box which came with both of these, and these were really easy to put together. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, and you stack them, right? They're very specific, and then you end up gluing it like right on the outside. They're hollow too, and you get enough to make 2. Those are great, and I remember they used to come with a base. Now they don't. So I mean, you can always put a sheet of like a flat sheet underneath and glue them to it, and then scenic it, and then that way they're stuck to something. But they don't, like, it's not like a top heavy thing. They stand very well because it is a bit of a wide bottom to it. So that's a nice addition to add to the actual kit, right? I just gotta paint them. Gotta paint all these as well. But that's it. That's it for the Walthers paper mill. And I guess on to my next one. Kind of flying through these. Yeah, I really like doing the kits. It's honestly like one of my favorite parts of doing the whole model railroading thing, especially when I get to, customize it and get to have trains running through it. I'm gonna park some cars in there and drop off other cars, and yeah, no, it's fun. I love it. And I'll get around to the detail parts. I don't really care too much about the detail parts. I'll do those later. But I do have to weather the heck out of this thing. And I was thinking maybe doing some green moss going up, and maybe some, something like that. That would be a really nice touch on there. Adding like vines growing on it up the side or something. And obviously doing the scenicking around it. But I still have a lot of planning to do for my paper mill. I still got 2 more kits to build for my paper mill. And yeah, but I think next up we're going to do a train station. So we're going to switch it up every so often, do a couple of different kits each time. But this is basically part 1 of the paper mill whole mill kit series. We'll do 2 more. We got 2 more to do with this. But next up, we're doing the train station. So I'm Go Veer, Go Home. I want to thank you again for watching my kit build series. This has been the Walthers Paper Mill. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, bye now.